Hello my dears, welcome to your Aries Crosswatchers video for the month of June 2019. For those of you unaware, cross-watching is sometimes what people do is say there's an Aries that they're dating or they're interested in, or an ex, or just some Aries in their life. They get curious what's going on and they kind of pop in and they watch videos, reading videos for that sign. So this is specifically geared towards cross watchers. If you are cross watching, those of you who don't know, I have to say this real quick. I am not a spilling tea channel. I do not believe in spying. I ask for the information to come in that is for the best and highest interest for Aries, for the cross watcher to know what is beneficial for Aries to share with crosswatcher, or for crosswatcher to know, to bring about healing, to bring about understanding, to bring about positivity. Okay, so that is my goal as I'm looking in on this, and what is in the best and highest interest for crosswatcher to know regarding Aries and what's going on with Aries and Aries' feelings about crosswatcher. Okay, so I'm doing it in that way. I'm asking that we respect everybody's boundaries and privacy, and I'm not going to go into anybody's dirty laundry or anything like that. Okay, so let's see what you need to know to bring about a better result with your Aries. And as always, guys, I will have the information for the decks in the description. Oopsie. It might be good if I don't knock this over. And I'm going to pull a message card, like a message from Aries to you at the end. So we have Four of Swords coming up in the beginning part of the month for Aries. Aries is going through some stuff where Aries might be taking a little bit of a break or a little bit of a timeout. Okay, if you are already involved with Aries, say you all are already dating, or you're already close, or you've been together for a long time, it might be helpful for you to help Aries do this if Aries is not doing this. We all know how Aries can be, guys. Aries can be very, like, they put their mind to something and they will, drive themselves into the ground trying to get it done, right? They're very, very go, do. They're very action oriented. And so they can get home from school, or they can get home from work, and they might not have a whole lot of energy left over for you by the time that they're around, or just in general for their personal life, or for their activities, or for their hobbies. So what Aries needs to be doing is taking a bit of a break and unwinding and just kind of disconnecting. So if you are already married to this Aries, or living with this Aries, or if you all are already in a close enough relationship, it might be a good idea, if Aries is not already doing this on their own, if they're not taking a little bit of a break and stepping away from everything that needs to be done, maybe, on their days off, taking them away somewhere where they can unwind. It doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be a ton of money. You could go down to the beach, or go have a picnic, or go for a hike. It doesn't have to be a ton of money, but just some way that they can just kind of disconnect and rest. For some of you, the Aries is just going to need some alone time, right? So if you're trying to get Aries to open up and talk to you about what's going on, or what they're feeling, or what's wrong, or how can you help, they just might already be in this Four of Swords energy where they're like, look, I just need to have my space. I need to have my me time. I need to just go ahead and be able to disconnect. Some of you who have an Aries who's an ex, and things ended in terms of, say, something happening where this person had certain addictions or things that were getting in the way of the relationship. Four of Swords for me is sometimes like a rehab card as well. So if you do have an Aries where you feel like, man, we could have had a good relationship, but this person was allowing things to get in the way, Four of Swords could be that this person is finally going to start looking into doing what they need to do to just kind of disconnect and, get into their zen and get into their healing, and be able to spend some quiet time away, resting, recharging, healing, finding their spiritual connection, all that good stuff. We have Two of Cups. So Aries is going to be coming into the energy of wanting soul connection, of wanting romance, and of wanting love. Okay, now every tarot reader is gonna have a specific relationship with certain cards, where the certain cards have a little bit of an extra meaning, and Two of Cups is one of those cards for me. Two of Cups for me, when it comes up in a love reading, it's telling me that this person is ready for a healthier, more mature kind of love, where the communication is really solid and things are even. Like, things are even. So maybe in the past, this Aries that you're dealing with has been in relationships where either they've been looking to be rescued, or they've been trying to rescue somebody else, or they looked at relationships as like a way to be needed. And Two of Cups to me is equal. They're wanting a relationship where things are equal. They're wanting a relationship where the communication is solid. They're wanting their forever person. Okay, so maybe some of you are dealing with an Aries who was playing around a lot, or who was very distracted on other things, or maybe made love feel like it was second or third or fourth or fifth place in their life. In the beginning part, as they're going through their spiritual connection and they're going through their healing, they may be realizing, and their eyes may be opening up to ways in which they've been sabotaging themselves in their love life, or sabotaging themselves in the romantic connection, or maybe in some ways just kind of being a little bit distant, or not addressing certain issues, and maybe just kind of distracting. So they may come into this longing for this Two of Cups kind of energy. Okay, some of you are going to have an Aries who's coming into an energy where they might be having to heal an old relationship wound so that they can come into this Two of Cups. They might be aware of that. I'm not going to pull a clarifier for each card, but I want to pull a clarifier for this card. So I want to know in which way, or what is going on here with Two of Cups for Aries, and what way is Aries experiencing Two of Cups in the month of June 2019 in terms of the Crosswatcher, in relation to the Crosswatcher. So we have Three of Pentacles. So this Aries may be trying to bridge something with you. Okay, they may be trying to revisit something with you. Three of Pentacles isn't necessarily a negotiation card for me, but when I pulled it and I looked at it, I heard negotiating. Okay, so some of you are dealing with it with an Aries who maybe knows there's something that's very important to you that maybe has been not on the table, not up for discussion, or up for a talking. Maybe it's a reconciliation, maybe it's a marriage, maybe it's moving in together, maybe it's having a kid, maybe it's family issues, something where maybe they weren't wanting to address. Three of Pentacles is making me feel like Two of Cups with Three of Pentacles together makes me feel like they're kind of like, okay, you know what, I'm thinking about the future, I'm thinking about long term, I'm feeling there's a strong connection here, and they're wanting to bridge something, or they're wanting to come up to a solution and build towards the future. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, so because we have Four of Swords in the beginning, this is gonna say whatever this issue is with the Aries, instead of like kind of hounding them and trying to beat some sense into them, not physically beat, please guys, don't hit anybody, that's not good, that's not okay, but without trying to like tire them down and drill into their head to see things your way. I think once this Aries has a little bit of time and a little bit of space to kind of recharge, they're realizing maybe in some ways they've been unfair towards you, Crosswatcher, or that they've been that there needs to be more of a give and take here. There needs to be more of an open communication. There needs to be more of a discussion, okay? And then a building or a planning for the future. So this isn't going to be, for those of you who are not already with this Aries, this will not be an instant reconciliation, but I feel the communication is finally open to talk. Okay, open to talk and to figure out how things can be fixed or changed or improved for the future, where the communication is open and it's healthier this time around. We have Knight of Cups, so this could be an offer coming in. Could be an offer coming in to try to have a romantic relationship, to have a connection here, to have some soothing. I'm sorry to say I don't typically like to look at things in this way. But it could be because it's Knight of Cups coming up, and we're going from Two of Cups to Three of Pentacles to Knight of Cups. This feels to me like somebody else is kind of surfacing here in the mix. Okay, so there could be somebody else who's kind of sniffing around this Aries or wanting Aries' attention. And so this is something for you to take into consideration with this Knight of Cups. In this specific instance, that's just kind of the feeling that I'm getting around. I'm getting around it. There could be someone else who's pursuing Aries. But I'm also feeling a sense of pretentiousness here. And I'm also feeling a sense of, like, insincerity. And I'm not putting down Knight of Cups. I have nothing against Knight of Cups. I don't read in a negative way. I try to keep things high vibe. I try to keep things positive and upbeat. But intuitively, in this case, in this situation, this feels a bit of a player type energy for me. Okay, so whoever this person is sniffing around Aries, I don't think they're going to be around for very long. Or if you feel like somebody has turned Aries's head, or you feel like you're competing against another person, this Knight of Cups makes me feel like they're not going to be around for very long. I would say maybe don't sweat this person too much. Knight of Cups can also sometimes be a message for you, Crosswatcher, for you as well, to keep your options open and not get so hung up on any one person, okay? Because it does seem like this Aries is going through a lot of healing and a lot of, learning to compromise, I guess is what I want to say. Moving forward, we have Queen of Wands. Okay, this is Aries energy. This is fire energy. Queen of Wands is very no nonsense. I mean, she's fun. She's sexy. She's independent. She's successful. She's somebody that's gonna, just take charge of her life. Okay, so regardless of if you're dealing with a female Aries or a male Aries, right? This Queen of Wands energy is letting us know that your Aries is gonna have this burst of confidence, and instead of trying to keep up with their life in a way where they were drowning in the beginning of the month and they needed to get away and they needed to kind of recharge, they're coming back towards the end of the month, taking charge of their life in a way where they have more optimism, they have more clarity, they have more creativity. They don't have time for drama. They don't have time to get into like pettiness or silliness. Some of you might be dealing with an Aries who might also just be wanting to have a lot of like a physical connection with you or physical relationship with you, right? You might be in this energy where you're like, you want reconciliation. But if that's the case and you have this Aries kind of reaching out or reconnecting with you, it's going to be, they maybe are not 100% made up their mind that yes, Crosswatcher is going to be their forever person. I think they're wanting it to go that way and they're open to giving it a chance, but they might be very quick about jumping into bed. They might be very quick about the sexual aspect of things. So don't take that as like a contract of, oh, okay, this is it, we're together, and we're gonna make this happen and we're gonna be in this solid energy. Because Queen of Wands to me is very much in the moment. Queen of Wands for me is very much in like passion. Okay, if you are already with this Aries, you're already married to this Aries or living with this Aries, it could be that this person just really needs to spice things up a little bit, or is needing physical confirmation or reassurance from you. It might be something that they're just kind of needing as they're coming into this creative energy. It might be like kind of like a thing of inspiration for them. But very, very much this person is wanting to be on top of their life and wanting to be in control. And maybe you've had issues with this Aries in the past, and that could be another thing that you all are having to revisit, because they're going from Two of Cups, where there's like this equal energy, to all of a sudden this Queen of Cups. I'm not Queen of Cups, I'm sorry, Queen of Wands, where it's just it can be sometimes a little impulsive. I love Queen of Wands. She's one of my favorite cards. I adore her. She's a very powerful energy. but sometimes she can be a little headstrong and she can be a little independent. Okay, to the independent is not bad, it's not a bad thing, but you know, this could be someone who maybe is making decisions and you might feel like, well, hey, what about me? Like, where am I in this mix? So again, if you are one of those people where you cannot be physically intimate with somebody without your feelings getting really deep or really attached or really involved, I would say maybe wait. You know, maybe hold off until things are a little bit more settled, or your Aries is in a little bit more of like a settled energy, because they're very just kind of, you know, wanting to get to a certain level right now in their life. And so it's something for you to keep in mind before you go getting, you know, all like, oh, this is it, we're going to be together kind of energy, right? If they're sniffing around or if they're reconnecting with you, it's very much that energy of wanting to have the physical connection. Don't get me wrong, there's emotions here, but they may still have some distractions, and Crosswatcher, you need to be aware of this, okay? And then you've got Six of Pentacles coming up here as like your outcome, not your outcome, but kind of like finishing off the month of June. And Six of Pentacles to me is give and take energy, okay? So if there's a situation here where this Aries owes you money, they may be coming back around and trying to repay that debt in some way, to like show good faith. Or maybe it's not literal money, it could be energy. Maybe you've done a lot for this person and they're wanting to show up and they're wanting to give something back to you or be good to you in return, like as a thank you. So even though they're coming back around again, and even though there's this energy of, you know, things being healthier or being more on the up and up, it's very much, you know, like still this person is still finding themselves, okay? And there's still, like I said, other distractions, so keep on this. But the intention seems to be genuine here, right? And I think Aries is wanting to prove themselves to you. Honestly, I think they're wanting to prove to themselves their capability, wanting to prove to themselves that they're a good catch, or wanting to prove to you also that they're a good catch. They may even kind of be like letting you know that, oh, you know, there's these other people that want me. And I think it's a way of them trying to express to you that, hey, I'm a good catch. So you might be dealing with an Aries that still underneath all this has a little bit of insecurity. And Crosswatcher, you may not have the time or the patience for that. You might be like, look, I don't really care if other people want you, you know, I want you. I want you to want to be here. I'm not so concerned with what other people are thinking or doing. Okay, so keep that in mind. There could be a little bit of trying to make you jealous. Don't fall into that trap. You know, that energy is not good for you. That energy, that drama is not good for you. You know, it's not something you really need to be taking in. That's not something that you need to be dealing with. It's not going to be good for you. To fall into that trap or to fall into that cycle. If you are dealing with an Aries who's trying to make you jealous, understand and know this is coming from their own insecurity, and you don't have to fall into that vibration. Okay, you're gonna have options for yourself too, Crosswatcher. That's what it feels like to me. I feel there's a lot of unfinished business with this person. I feel that you're gonna be at a crossroads with this Aries. I think Aries wants to be with you, but they're still in this place where they have some emotional maturing that needs to happen, okay? And so even though they might be making some improvements, and even though they might be in a better place than maybe say in the past, there's still work here that needs to be done, okay? So don't get carried away with the potential, right? They're working to meet their potential, which is beautiful and which is wonderful, but don't get carried away with the potential. See where they are in this moment and take that into consideration. I don't think this is somebody that you need to write off, you know, but I would definitely say, you know, it's safe for you to keep your own options open as well, you know, while this person is finding themselves and while this person is growing. You know, maybe you're already in a relationship with this person, maybe you're already like married to this person, and you know that you want to stay, you're not wanting to leave, you know, but this is this person, you know. Then in that case, I'm just gonna say, don't get pulled into any kind of you know, mind games or attempts of jealousy, and just focus on doing things for yourself and following your own passions. And Aries is gonna, like I said, you know, in the beginning, come running around looking for you. Okay? I think they need to know that you're there. They need to know that the door is open, but they also need to know that you're not standing by the door waiting for them to come in, right? Like you have your own things that are going on as well. Okay, so I think that independence is gonna be really, like, these two people having their independence is what will make this relationship with Aries stronger. So I want to look into what message Aries has for Crosswatcher. What does Aries want Crosswatcher to know? What would Aries say to Crosswatcher if they could? What message does Aries have for Crosswatcher? So here's the picture. You can definitely look at the picture to get an idea of like intuitively what it's kind of speaking to you. Okay, so for some of you, you are dealing with an Aries who's seeing your worth. For some of you, maybe you're dealing with an Aries who wants you to see their worth. You know your Aries' personality. You know what your scenario or situation is. But I would definitely say look at anything that's jumping out at you in terms of messages. Okay. And the message here is, why are the phrases goodbye, I'm sorry, and I love you so easy to pronounce and yet so hard to say? So you might be dealing with an Aries where there's a bit of a love-hate relationship here, or kind of roller coastery, or somebody who comes in and out. Okay? This person has a very hard time expressing their emotions. This person has a very hard time. They might even be projecting it onto you, Crosswatcher. They might make you feel like, oh, well, you're afraid to be loved, or, oh, you're afraid to let me in. But that's like their own stuff that they might be putting on you. So you got to keep this in mind. Your Aries may come across as very confident and very strong and very self-assured and very, like, you know, ready for whatever. But there could be some insecurity underneath all of this, and some fear of emotional intimacy underneath all of this that, you know, you're gonna have to keep in mind. Pay attention to this person's actions and the way that they're living their life more so than their words, right? Actions speak louder than words. Let's see what is going to be good for Crosswatcher to express to Aries. So if you are in connection with Aries, if you all are already talking, you know, what would be a good thing to convey for Crosswatcher to convey to Aries? Okay. No, it's not it. This is it. So again, you can look at the card and see what's kind of jumping out at you, what's kind of speaking to you. This makes me feel like there's some kind of secrets being revealed, right? But also like a give and take, like giving something very personal or giving something very hidden. Okay, something being illuminated, something being brought to the forefront. All right, you can see what maybe is coming up for you. You know, what's just kind of speaking to you intuitively, and what messages you take away from that. It says, love changes everything. Days are longer. Words mean more. Joy is more intense. Pain is deeper. Love can turn your world around, and that world will last forever. Okay? So your Aries may need some reassurance from you, right? But you may also need Aries to know that, you know, their words need to hold meaning. You know, say what you mean. See, they have a hard time with their words. They're like, why is it so hard for me to say this? Why is it so hard for me to express this? And you're like, well, you know, these words mean a lot more. Okay, like they're intense. And you know, so maybe encourage them to speak up, encourage them to express themselves. Hear them out, I think. Hear them out when they are trying to speak. Aries sometimes have a hard time being vulnerable. Okay, so maybe like making them safe to be in their vulnerability, because honestly, anytime we're in a situation of love, there's the vulnerable energy there, my darlings. It's not, I mean, it's not always easy for everybody to be in love. It can be scary for some people, and I think that's what you're dealing with, cross watchers, with this Aries. Okay, they have a really hard time being vulnerable, and they might be a little bit like, you know, still playing these little jealousy games or things, because for them it makes them feel like reassured that you want them, and you might just have to be like, look, this isn't gonna fly with me, this isn't gonna work, like we need to have this communication, and you need to, you know come out of this energy. Like, let's be real. Let's reveal our emotions to one another. Like, you got to let yourself be vulnerable if this is going to work. Otherwise it's not going to work, right? And so it's up to your Aries to be able to step up and to do that. If you have not had contact with this Aries, if you're waiting for them to come back around, I really do feel that they will come back around. Okay, because that's what I'm getting with the Four of Swords, and then Two of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. So I do feel this person's going to come back around, but I feel like you're going to have to let them come back around. Don't go seeking out after them, because there's still maybe a little bit more of a humbling that needs to happen here. And maybe if you're reaching out to them, that humbling will take much longer. Okay, my darlings. And this might not be for every Aries. I want to say that, these are general readings. It's going to resonate for some. It's not going to resonate for others. So if you are an Aries and watching, please don't get offended. I'm not trying to say that you're not humble. If you are an Aries that's watching, your person may not be watching this video, right? So it might not apply to you, right? But this is for the cross watchers who are watching for an Aries. All right, my darlings, take care.